All right. In this video, Psych Perspectives, Geofucks. In this video, I just want to talk about what is the obsession with people who are bigots, closed-minded, and or constantly disrespecting other people and dismissing other people's lived experiences, yet feeling the need that they should constantly have access to you, even though they don't like you, they don't agree with you, they don't even want you to have rights, they don't support you, but they don't want you to recognize that you don't have to put up with them. They don't want you to recognize that it's okay for you to have boundaries and decide to distance yourself from people who are dedicated to disrespecting you, oppressing you, discriminating against you, downplaying your experiences, etc. And when people do decide to burn the cape and no longer participate, now they sitting up talking about, oh, well, just because we don't agree, you should be willing to still put up with me not respecting you, still put up with me being a bigot and closed-minded and oppressive towards you. Like, no, we don't have to continue to have the cape and play superhero, because the same, like I said in my other video, Burn the Cape, earlier this month, you want us to show up for you, but you don't want to show up for us in return. It's not reciprocated. So you mad that after all these years of certain people, certain demographics constantly carrying everybody, constantly being the social justice warrior and advocate for everybody, but then when it's time for everybody to reciprocate that effort and energy and show up for us, it's met with crickets. But now that we're also returning the same energy, now that we're starting to realize, wait a minute, I'm tired of going above and beyond and putting my energy, my time, my life, my resources, my freedoms, my rights on the line for another group of people that won't do the same in return. Now that we are also like, you know what, we're taking a break, we're taking a breather, burn the cape. It's not my job to play Captain Save-A-Ho. And or the fact that we are now expecting reciprocity. If you want me to be an ally, you need to be an ally to me. Oh, now it's a problem. And that's what I mean by that's narcissistic. Like, hear what you're saying. You expect other people to put up with your bullshit. Never, demand fairness. Never demand reciprocity. You want people to show up and march and rally and protest when you're going through shit. But in the same breath, you vote against other people's rights. You vote against other people's health and well-being. Then you want to say we're a community. How are we a community when you don't want people that are supposedly a part of the same community to have rights? Please explain that to all of us. Like, we will all like to understand how that makes any sense. And then how can you be in community with people that are constantly hurting you? And then it's just like, you realize you have so many people who you want folks to understand your plight, but you don't want to understand other people's plight. We're supposed to understand how difficult it is for you, but then you'll turn around and not want to understand how difficult it is for me. But I'm supposed to be all willing to put up with you and all of your shit, but you're not going to offer the same opportunity. You're not finna put up with me and all of my shit, but I'm supposed to put up with you and all of your shit. And now you're mad that various demographics of people are starting to wake up and realize, wait a minute, we have been the sacrificial lamb for everybody. Like, so I don't fault black women who have decided to burn the cape. I don't fault LGBTQIA plus people who have decided to burn the cape. I don't fault transgender people who have decided to burn the cape. People are tired of being marginalized and being within other marginalized groups and demographics just to still be treated like shit by other so-called marginalized demographics. It's just something to think about. Everybody want to talk about allyship and community until it's time to actually be about allyship and community. And a lot of folks don't want to acknowledge the privileges that they have. And there's so many different types of privileges, but people don't want to believe that. People want to continue to believe that, they don't have any, they don't have things easier in life. Everything is just doom and gloom for them. But then they'll turn around and tell you how what you are experiencing on a day-to-day basis doesn't matter, isn't important, or it's fake, it's not serious, it's not real. But then when they're going through something, they expect you to be there for them, to be a shoulder for them to lean on. They expect you to lend sympathy and have empathy for them in their situation, but they never want to do that for you. They want to have bodily autonomy, but they don't want you to have bodily autonomy. Wait a minute. They want to be able to have access to people to date and be in relationships with. But then they'll turn around and have a preference and then tell you that you don't meet their preference. So therefore you don't have the same opportunities. But they want to have access to you and do everything that they want to do. Everybody, like I said in my other video, people always want to say, don't tread on me. Meanwhile, they are treading on you. That shit is crazy. And that's the world that we're living in. That's the world that we living in. It's okay for you to go to the bathroom, but I can't go to the bathroom. It's okay for you to be able to get health care and access to gender affirming care because you're biologically or you're cis. But then it's not okay for the intersex person. It's not okay for the trans person to get the same damn gender affirming care that you're getting. It's okay for you to decide that you're going to ejaculate in somebody without their consent and potentially get them knocked up and not be responsible for taking care of the kid. But it's wrong for the person to decide that they don't want to give birth to something that they never consented to in the first place. But it's okay for you to opt out and basically abort your kid. But because it's sperm, oh, that's okay. Again, the double standards, you're upset that people are starting to catch on to the double standards and people are calling shit out for what it is. And again, people with privileges have a hard time being held accountable because being held accountable to people with privileges, they think they're being oppressed because they're finally being treated like everybody else. Oh my God. This shit is crazy. Oh, it's reverse racism. Meanwhile, you're still primarily the one making all of the laws. You're primarily the elected officials, but somehow you're oppressed. Okay. Anyways, all I'm saying is continue to burn the cape. Reciprocity goes a long way. You want people to show up for you, you have to be willing to show up for other people. A lot of folks are takers and users and very one-sided, but they expect others to be givers. Right? They expect you to constantly give and give and give. They expect you to constantly give them grace. They expect you to just, let shit slide 24/7. But the same stuff that they expect you to let slide, they would never let slide if it came down to them. So I'm treating people exactly how you've been treating me. And now we're wrong because we're not interested in putting up with bullshit anymore. And also, this is not elementary. We don't have to agree with you. We don't have to listen to you. We don't have to put up with you. See, the very same thing that you do to us, you're starting to have a problem with, because now we're doing it back to you. Now it's a problem. Well, that's just how it's got to be sometimes. Sometimes you got to get a taste of your own medicine. And that's what burning the cape is about. Time for certain people to get a taste of their own medicine.